So we're talking about your new book. We'll come to it in just a second. Just had a message in saying, hi Chris, congratulations on your new book. Some great Manx authors on the shelves now, even if not born here. You've got sort of such a link to the Isle of Man though, don't you? That you do, and obviously, sort of married to Joe as well. Yeah. Do you kind of feel that you are a little bit Manx?
No, I definitely can't claim that, can I? I'd be pushed off the island. But I do.
No, you're successful now. We will claim you. We do that when people do well.
There is something really special about this place creatively.
Yeah.
To see the explosion of writers over here now, and even being here just for the last week or so. I mean, so many of my ideas used to come when I was walking in the plantations over here, and I think it's that fresh air and being out in it. It's just good for generating ideas.
And as well, the folklore, because the whole Hopchinay thing as well. There's that too that has been very inspirational. We're quite dark, aren't we, over here?
Yeah, there's a lot of rich traditions and a lot of sort of secrets lurking behind the facade, I think. And so it's interesting to pick at that.
Well, it is interesting because you mentioned this sort of the great outdoors as such. You've gone very much indoors for this one, haven't you? I've got to say, I read the premise for this and I went, I don't know if I can read it. I think it would finish me off. So just tell us a little bit about this book, because it was sort of inspired by a scenario which wasn't remotely sort of scary in itself, but has led to this. So just tell us what happened.
Oh yeah, so when Joe and I left the Isle of Man, we were house hunting in my hometown of Taunton in Somerset, and we went to view a particular house with an estate agent. And she took us in, and the homeowner, this guy, wouldn't leave during the tour. And he insisted on conducting the tour, even though the estate agent obviously wasn't very happy with this. Took us room by room and started telling us all his most personal secrets, basically, and saying how they were only selling the house because his wife had been cheating on him and she was leaving him, and how he didn't want to split up. And he didn't want to.
Word.
And I felt awful for him, but it was also this really awkward situation. And it just made me realise how strange a house viewing is, really.
Mm-hmm.
And, both as the buyer, when you go into a home, you're in somebody else's space, and the seller, you've got people invading your own space, and that really became the kind of seed for the idea for the house hunt. And the scenario is different. So it's set in Putney in London. It's about a young couple, Lucy and Sam. They've renovated their dream house, but they've got heavily in debt, and they have to sell. And one morning, Lucy is vacuuming the house ready for a viewing, and she misses a call from her estate agent. Later, she picks up a voicemail, and it's the estate agent saying, "I'm really sorry, I'm running late. The guy coming to view your house, a guy called Donovan, he's an excellent prospect. Would you mind just starting the tour before I get there?" And before she can really think yes or no, the doorbell goes. She opens it. There's this guy, Donovan. He's handsome, he's charming, he looks wealthy. So she lets him in and begins the tour, but very quickly gets a bad vibe. And she asks him to leave. He refuses, and the story really is about what happens next. So the whole story takes place during a house viewing, and largely within this one house. So it's a very intense, very claustrophobic popcorn thriller.
That immediate kind of feeling of entrapment is just kind of... And it was interesting, we were just chatting off air then, you were saying this has become something of a sort of popular theme, the idea of sort of enclosed spaces for thrillers.
Yeah, I think within the thriller kind of genre, in the last few years, lot room thrillers have been a big trend. Yeah. And I think you could put The House Hunt within that, although it's probably even more confined than a lot of examples you might think of, because the whole time frame of the book is very condensed, and literally we're in this one house. And that was something that really appealed to me, was how could you write a scenario where somebody was facing real difficulties, high stakes, right in the middle of a city like London, where to all intents and purposes, you should be able to shout for help. You should be able to get people to come to your door. But what if you can't? And how would that go?
Oh,
and
dear.
That was really
I'm just thinking, hurry up, estate agent. Well, I do read your book, so I will read it, but I'm already worried for myself, I have to say.
You'll be fine.
And it is getting some excellent reviews, as we mentioned before. And as we said, you are going to be at the Henry Broome Noble Library on Thursday, reading from it. And there's a chance for people to get their hands on copies as well.
Yeah, very excitingly, because the book doesn't come out till the end of August, but we have some exclusive early copies provided by the British Bookshop, which will be available for sale, which is very exciting.
And they're beautiful. The hard copies are particularly beautiful. And then what will be next for you then? Because I know last time we talked there was ideas of potentially getting into the sort of film world and that side of things. I mean, has anything progressed with that?
No, I've got a number of projects, a number of books that are in development for TV and film at the moment, none of which, frustratingly, I can talk about in any more
Chris,
detail.
It's only me. It's only me. Come on, tell us.
Believe me, I wish I could tell you all about it. But no, I'm very much focused on the book, so I'm already halfway through a second draft of the next CM Ewan book. Which is tentatively called The Lift Home. That may change.
Oh, God. And does it all happen in one car and people can't get out?
Pretty much.
Oh, Chris.
Spoiler alert.
Oh, not fair. I can't handle the stress. Honestly, I really can't. Well, listen, it's always a joy catching up with you. And I'm sorry it has to be so brief. I don't know. We've got music to play and all that kind of thing. But we're looking forward to seeing you on Thursday. And I'm just going to pick up one thing which you did say off air, because I did say to you, do you ever just want to write something, a bit jolly and light-hearted? And you would entertain that idea. I was intrigued by that.
I would love to do, if I ever get the time, I would love to write, I suppose they call it uplift fiction, uplifting fiction, but I'd be a sucker for writing a rom-com. If I had a really great idea for a rom-com, I'd love to do that one day. There
you go. Whether or not he will be receiving your ideas, I do not know, but he's on Twitter, so you can find him there. I'm sure you can throw them his way.